You see, System X is creating state capitalism, a government run by a single party in control of labor, media, EDU, and banking, joined by big business to further their mutual collective goals. This part is my theory. I want you to understand, I'm off the reservation. I'm on to my theory. Corporations need capital for investments, educated and trained workers, and global markets. The government wants power to control and plan. So to be able to merge these two, labor needs to be there to give the illusion of choice. Because the government and the labor needs to be against the corporations. But if these two are together, you need to feel like you're not being manipulated, like you have some sort of say in something. So labor in bed here, which is in bed here, gives you the illusion of a struggle. Medical will control you. Guns, if I take them off the street, will control you. The DHS will limit your travel and make sure that nobody is in the wrong place. Banks control the finance to finance the capital for the corporations. Education to train and to indoctrinate. The media to teach and use propaganda. The only thing left here is food. But if you give food to the global corporations, which are also involved here, they get food to control and they have a global market to sell to. Whoa, this is a perfect situation, isn't it? And you need intelligence gathering and giant corporations. These are just two we're going to name tonight. Now, one of the strings attached to this, to the race to the top, was something we've called, or something we've talked about before called Common Core. If you as a state wanted the education cash to help your teachers, to hire teachers, you just had to implement Common Core. It was part of the stimulus deal. Well, guess who's funneling millions of dollars into Common Core? Oh, that's right, GE. In fact, GE gave $18 million to Common Core, whose chief said, the GE Foundation is going deep in this work, and its commitment to improving public education for all students exactly is what it's going to take to seed real and lasting change, especially during these tough economic times. So through bribery, your cash-strapped state was forced to sign on to Common Core, which is being funded by at least one corporation. They give you the middle finger to privacy laws, and your kids are poked and prodded and trained. Now, this part gets a little spooky. Remember I was talking to you about the MRIs? Let me go back to the same report again. This is from the Department of Education. This came out just in February. They have some disturbing plans. Because I'm looking at that MRI thing and I'm like, what is that? Plans for data mining on your children. Part of the student monitoring from kindergarten to graduation will include functional magnetic resonance imaging, MRIs, and, quote, other sensors. Sensors provide constant parallel streams of data and are used with data mining techniques and self-report measures to examine frustration, motivation, flow, confidence, boredom, and fatigue. Now, here are their tools for the data mining. I just want you to look right here, there they are. Now, what are these? Well, they include facial expression camera, posture, analysis seats. I love that one. They're going to analyze your kid's posture. They have a pressure mouse to see if they're stressed out. And who doesn't need a nice fashionable wireless skin conductance sensor that's strapped to your kid's wrist all the time? The report continues. Now, while it is impractical, if I may continue on this, while it is impractical to use MRI in the classroom, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation will point out that researchers are beginning to use multiple methods to explore how specific brain activity is correlated with other cognitive and affective indicators that are practical to measure in school settings. Oh, well, thank you, Bill and Melinda Gates, for that. It's going to help out the children so much. They're going to be so much better for it. Why don't you parents at the PTA get behind it? They also plan on tracking information on health care, family income, voting status, religious affiliation, extracurricular activity, along with literally hundreds of other attributes on this list. Now, I'd love to hear the explanation on how exactly this all raises the educational standards. They are using your kids as a guinea pig. And quite honestly, it is a glimpse of the disturbing mind of Cass Sunstein in a fantasy sequence. This is a progressive takeover of America's entire school system. And the event horizon on this is so short because they're so far ahead. If you don't gather now as a public and act now in your local and statewide educational systems, you will not be able to stop this. This is a progressive bonanza. And if it's allowed to be in our schools in any form and become the common core of America's next generation, it will destroy America and the system of freedom as we know it. We will be lost, and the corporation in bed with the government will be king. I'm not an anti-corporation guy. Where's the left that hates the corporation? I don't. I don't hate the corporation. I'm telling you, the corporations and the government are in bed together, and this is evil stuff. They've got a near 4-year head start. You have to stand up right now, but you get prepared because there will be resistance. You will be called a conspiracy theorist. Do not take my word for it. Go to the government sources.